soft.
I'm not soft. I had nothing to do with it. I am at the mercy of the Omaha men's basketball program, which I'm very happy to be involved with.
You are hence known as Gary Sharman today. Not Gary Sharp, Gary Sharman.
I think in my time here, you've only missed one day because of snow, because it was like horrifically bad.
Really? You actually missed a day because of snow?
Well,
before?
he was at the home studio, but yeah,
No,
most times he's in here.
I would be right there with you guys. It just works out better when they are leaving for me to be on the show till 9 and then go across the street. Okay. If not, I would have to leave earlier, and I would miss our 45 minutes of uninterrupted college baseball talk in the 8 o'clock hour. I'd be very sad.
From the desk of Adam Schefter, when the NFL sits down to mull its options for the 2025 regular season opener, the Bears at Eagles will have a compelling case. Oh boy! Guess who's coming? Guess who's coming? Caleb's coming. He's coming. Come on. What did I tell you, Sharpie? You were trying to sell me. Detroit at Philadelphia. Detroit. No. I'm telling you, man, I cannot wait. I'm already counting down the days. We love you. Is that your mug? Is that your mug of the day?
That's from my good friends at Woodhouse.
Oh, okay.
Last night, whether it be right here in Omaha, in the middle of America somewhere. Hey, I did not see UConn. Usually, they are Richard heads with their social media game when it comes to Omaha. Did they tweet anything out last night?
Acorn.
I did not see anything hit my phone about it, which probably which probably communicates that it wasn't that bad, because if it was bad, it definitely would be surfacing. This says Omaha dub.
Omaha dub. Yeah, that's boring.
That's just it.
There's no corn. There's no reference to how we are Midwestern hicks here, according to people in Storrs, Connecticut, a town of about 18,000.
Nope.
Okay.
It's just now there is
Liam McNeely had a good game. They tweeted about that.
Yeah. The comments are pretty funny. Like there's some good like GIFs and like memes and stuff about McNeely and Hurley, but it's just
it was tame.
Honestly, it's kind of a crappy graphic too. I don't know. I don't really like how they made this graphic. I'm kind of unimpressed by.
There was more trolling from Dan Hurley's hoodie.
Yeah.
Well, yes, and I think also the local media that got shots of Hurley on the floor at the end of the game. I don't understand this. One thing, okay, so the great Jake Ryan is the PA announcer at the Chai. Why did he announce that was the first time UConn had won in Omaha? Did he need to do that when he gave the final score?
No.
Okay. So
that's like your Harold Miner
story. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why Jake did that. But like you may have bolted quickly. I did see this. So the local media went immediately on the floor at the end of the game. First of all, they wanted to see the handshake between Hurley and Mack, and it was good. It was good. They get along, and they're two of the best in the biz. So, but the media stayed on the floor because CBS Sports Network. And I know a lot of people are happy that Steve Lapis is not going to do another Creighton game this year. I was getting texts about this guy is terrible. And I said, it's CBS Sports Network. What do you expect?
What do you expect?
Okay. The Big East should not be on CBS Sports Network. But so the media waited on the floor for Hurley, and they were interviewing Evan Washburn, who, by the way, is a huge dude.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, he is a big dude.
I didn't realize how big he was. I saw him. He was walking by, and I go, that's a I didn't know. I didn't know Wash was that tall.
So he interviewed McNeely, and then they interviewed Hurley, and all the media were waiting on the floor. And that's when Hurley walks off the floor and is doing. First of all, he was waving to everybody in the arena, and then behind the UConn bench as he's walking towards the tunnel, people are giving him the business. I mean, the whole night was "F you Hurley" chants, and he is clapping, and then that's where he does the points to Klay Thompson 2 rings. But yeah, that read the comments on all of the video that's been shared by the local media that had that, and they got the audio. But the one that I saw, and I don't remember what media outlet it was. So Hurley walks into the tunnel, and he's still walking, and he's still doing that, and he's clapping to no one. There's no one in the tunnel.
There is no one there. There is 0 people there. Like, I was like, what is he? Because part of me is like, all right, this guy, it's a little like Roman theater, right? Like Colosseum, type theater. Like he knows the audience. He knows what he's playing to. He sees the cameras, right? So I'm like, all right, it's a little bit of an act, which is fine. No one is dissing him because it's a bit of an act. But then when I saw the video of him getting into the tunnel and doing that, I go, this guy actually is a psycho. Like, I don't think it is an act. I don't think he is playing toward the camera. Like, I think this is just how he interacts on a daily basis. Like, this is how he is just all the time. And you know what? I probably dig it even more that he's actually crazy and he's not playing it up a bit, So it was great.
Well, he got a meme, so he has the sarcastic thumbs up.
Yeah.
That he did during the game that I saw on the video board. Jeff writes in to the Equitable Bank inbox. Be curious to hear Doug's thoughts on last night's game. The Equitable Bank inbox, where they take banking personally, 2 fine locations. Wish I could have been there last night. See the sad faces walking out of the arena on a snowy, cold night. That is Jeff, by the way, in Arizona.
He's literally, I am watching this video. He is pumping up nobody. It is an empty hallway. And he is throwing up his hands, saying, let's go, as if he's walking through Store, Connecticut in a parade. But it's literally just an empty hallway and one security guard who is just a really big human who's just standing there very, intimidatingly.
If you give it to him, you got to expect him to give it back.
Absolutely.
And he was really good in the post-game press conference. He was very complimentary of Creighton and especially Kalkbrenner, which – it's 2 straight post-game pressers from Shaka Smart and Dan Hurley that are like, how in the F is Kalkbrenner still in college? And I can't wait for him to get out. And I'm going to come back in May when they have graduation just to make sure that Kalkbrenner leaves or whatever. Joey writes in, you know how I feel about heckling from fans. Not my thing personally, but I love the drama. I called it theater. All I say is if you talk that talk, your team better back it up, which Hurley's team did. If you lose, tip your cap and keep it moving. His team won, so he can now say what he wants on the way off the court, wave to the crowd, all of it. No complaints, Creighton fans. You brought it. He finished it.
It's great. This is great. I mean, all these comments are just absolutely like calling him a clown and a Richard and like a douchebag and everything like that. Like, it's great.
But that's the Big East. You have, when you are at the top where UConn is and you are where Creighton is, that is fantastic. This wasn't Creighton Seton Hall on a Tuesday night. Okay? No. This was big time. And Creighton went all in on the game with all of the promotion. It was great. It was fantastic. That's Big East basketball. I loved every minute of it. I thought it was great. I thought it is a really good rivalry. And you know what? Strangely, Creighton goes to Gamble and wins. UConn comes to the Chai and wins.
He said at the end of the game, I just wish there was more people still here. I just wish that there was still more of them left. There's been a lot more of them left when I've lost.
The weather was less than ideal. They had to get home.
He did make one key thing. You brought it up earlier how the game changed. I mean, that 14-2 run by Creighton, I'm like, they're going to do what they did last year. They're going to blow them out because nothing was going right for UConn. I mean, McNeely hadn't started to kick it into gear yet. No. Caravan was terrible last night. He was brutal. Then there was a moment where, of course, UConn gets back into the game in the middle 8, so to speak, but it basically was the middle 6. The last 2-3 minutes of the first half and then the beginning of the second half. Creighton had got it. I think it was, I wrote it down on my phone. I think it was 51-46 or 51-48. Creighton, I think, had made a one possession game. And the crowd was back into it. Hurley took a timeout that I thought was pretty important because it killed the energy in the building.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they went to a promotion on the floor and the crowd didn't have that same buzz. And he knew exactly what he was doing when he took that timeout. So he really coached his team through that game last night. And then they got benefited. Creighton didn't shoot the ball very well at all. And then they got killed on the glass again.
They and we got to get to a break here, but there were a couple calls that UConn they were committing fouls and they weren't getting it called on them a couple of times. And I'm like, this is the art. This is the beauty. This is what he does. Like, he works the referees to the point where they're going to get away with some things because they don't want to deal with his fury and his ferocity. And like, that's the strategy. And they did it. And he won. And that's why they're 2-time national champions, guys.